Hey guys, so I'm going to take you through how to make one of my favorite recipes, especially if I'm on the go and I'm training a lot, which is a chocolate mousse. But we're going to make it from all things plant-based. We're going to put in some extra protein and we're going to make these macros really, really good for you. So we're going to start off with some silken tofu. Make sure you get silken, especially if you want to make the mousse. Don't get firm tofu, get the silken. This is going to be the first thing that you pop in. You're going to do 300 grams of silken tofu into a processor. We are lucky enough to have the Maggi mix, which we highly recommend. We are then going to pop in some peanut butter, 5 to 6 tablespoons, so it's quite a lot, so you can spread this out through a few people. If you don't particularly like peanut butter that much, you can take the peanut butter out. You don't particularly need to have it. I just like to get some extra protein, a little bit of extra fat. And this is really good just to snack on throughout the day. The next ingredient that we're going to put in there is some coconut milk. I'm just going to drizzle it in. We're looking for about half a can. The next thing that we're putting in there, just to give it some extra sweetness, is medjool dates. So make sure you take the pits out, pre-pitted ones. If you don't get pre-pitted ones, just make sure you give them a squeeze and then just pop. We're going to do 4 of these, and I never usually shy away from, having a natural sweetener, especially in something that, is really beautiful to eat throughout the day, that's got loads of nutrients in there. Same with the fat, doesn't bother me so much, but if you would like to go lighter on the fat, because it doesn't work well with your stomach, feel free to go lighter on the fats as well. Now we're going to put in just a little bit of flavour. Now this is completely optional. If you have vanilla bean at home, you can just use plain vanilla bean. I'm just going to pop in just a dash of vanilla essence. This is really just for taste, but you don't need to use it. Normally I don't use it at all, but for this one we are. The next thing that we're going to pop in there, we're just going to pop in a couple of teaspoons of organic coconut syrup. Then some pink salt, just a couple of grinds. Just really bring out the flavour. We're going to pop in a little bit of cinnamon, 2 shakes. Don't want it to be too overbearing with the cinnamon. We're going to put in some raw cacao. This one is obviously a staple. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. And you can obviously do it by taste. If you would like it more chocolatey, put more in. If you want less chocolatey, put less in. This is a really good way to boost up your antioxidants, really good source of some vitamins and minerals that you may need. We're gonna bump up the protein on top of the silken tofu with a bit of sacha-inchi protein. This is just a nut-based protein, has really good omegas, is rich in amino acids as well, plus a bunch of vitamins and minerals. So we're gonna just chuck in a little bit of that at the same time. So we're looking for 3 tablespoons, just for the extra nutty taste and extra protein. Now for one of the most important parts is the chocolate. So we have these, which we got from iHerb. This just gives this a really good texture and taste. But prior to putting it in there, we're going to melt it first. You can use any chocolate. If you want to use, something like Panna or, your favorite chocolate from the store, you feel free to use whichever chocolate you like the most. So we're putting in around about 250 grams. We're just melting the chocolate just on a very low heat. We don't want to heat this chocolate too much at all. We want to maintain the integrity and the value that the chocolate contains throughout the cacao. I could literally just eat this by itself. If you did want to, which we actually normally do as well, we'll just make our own chocolate at home. We'll just mix together raw cacao powder, raw cacao butter, and maybe chuck in a little bit of organic coconut sugar, or you could pop in there some mesquite just to give it a little bit of sweetness, or agave nectar or something like that. It's entirely up to you. A little bit of maple goes a long way. That's another sweetener you could use instead of the coconut nectar. It just really gives it some extra sweetness. Depends on your kind of taste. If you like things a little bit more bitter, add some more cacao. If you like things sweeter, add more sweetener. Okay, we're gonna pop the chocolate straight in. Make sure you get to it before it hardens. Okay, so now we're ready to process. This blender is super powerful. It is rather expensive, but it will last a really long time. You'll never have to replace it. So if you've had blenders or you fruit processors in the past and they haven't lasted so long, maybe just save up an extra period of time and put it towards something a little bit more expensive, and you'll thank yourself in 5 years' time. And a quick tip when you're doing your blending is you can pulse it just to start it off. So when you kick it off, it doesn't spray everywhere. So you can pulse it for a little bit, get it semi-smooth, and then finish it off on auto. I, however, just pressed auto and it splashed everywhere. If you wanted to go easy on the fat, feel free to go easier on the fat. I've always, it's never caused me an issue having extra fat in my diet. I'm probably getting in around about, I would say, between 140 and 160 grams of fat a day. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, just depending on the training load. But this tends to really work for me, and obviously I won't be eating this whole thing in one go. I'll probably space it out. Now is I'm just going to bowl it up. I'm going to pop it in the fridge. I'm going to top it with the things that I like to top it with, which is usually blueberries, raspberries, and maybe some nuts if I feel like it as well, or maybe even some pepitas.